Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today is your ultimate white sneaker review. I have tried on way too many pairs of white sneakers. My office has literally smelled like a DSW store for weeks. This has definitely been very much a labor of love, but I hope it's helpful for those of you searching for a white sneaker. I have been on the hunt for the perfect white sneaker for over a year, and I have finally decided we are ending this search. I'm going to try out a bunch of white sneakers and review them. So if you are on the hunt for the perfect white sneaker, stay tuned. I don't want this video to drag out. There are a ton of shoes to get through. So I'm just going to hit the highlights of each shoe and show you guys here in the video so you can get a better look at the details. But I do have a very detailed blog post that has everything you need to know about every single shoe broken down as far as how comfortable it is, the looks, the pros and cons, price point, look for less options. All of the things are going to be in that blog post. So check that post out for more details. It will be linked down below. So we're going to be starting with the more expensive, like designer white sneakers, and working our way down to very affordable white sneaker options. So no matter what you're looking for, hopefully this video helps you find your perfect white sneaker. So starting off with one of the most recommended white sneakers, every time I ask for feedback on a white sneaker, I always get a couple of recommendations to try out the Gucci sneaker. Now the classic pair I think most people are referring to, where it's the signature like green and red combination, isn't necessarily my style. I'm definitely looking for something a little bit less colorful and a little more in my color palette. But I did find a version that was very much my style, this white and rose combination. This style does come in 3 different colors as well. So if you love the Gucci sneaker but you're looking for something a little more classic, I would say this one is definitely more understated with the perforated logo. I did order my normal size, but I would say if you are in between, definitely size down. These do seem a little bit roomier. Obviously, the quality of these are really great. It comes with a beautiful box. They come wrapped in their own individual dust covers, and it does come with extra laces as well, which extra laces doesn't justify the price point. And these are made with Italian leather and they have a rubber sole. So comfort wise, I would not say these are the most comfortable shoe right out of the box. They feel a little bit stiff, but I know over time they will obviously soften with wear as the leather breaks in. But 2 things I did notice is the tongue felt like it did kind of like pinch my ankle. It wasn't painful, but something I noticed. And if you do have a high arch, which I do, I felt like it just felt a little tight across the top of my foot. So this would be a good option if you have a very shallow foot. These are a little more streamlined, not as chunky. So my overall thoughts on the Gucci sneaker is I think it's a beautiful shoe. There is definitely exceptional quality to the shoe. However, I don't think I am in love with them for the price point. I'm honestly not the biggest Gucci, like I'm not a Gucci girl really. So I'm sure if I was in love with that brand, I would be more on board with this pair, I guess. All right, next shoe is probably going to be the most controversial shoe out of this review. I feel like people either love it or absolutely hate it. But now let's talk about the Golden Goose Superstar low top sneakers. If you aren't familiar with Golden Goose, they do have somewhat of a limited lifespan, so they actually only make a certain amount. And it is kind of cool because on the inside you can see like what number out of that stock you have and how many versions they're making, and then once they sell that amount of product, that color is completely discontinued. So it does have somewhat of a limited special edition feel to every single shoe, and I definitely think that helps kind of drive the purchase craziness when it comes to Golden Goose, because I feel like a lot of people have multiple pairs. Like people who love them have a ton of different styles. There are so many different color and print variations you can get with the Golden Goose. I was definitely looking for something a little more streamlined if it was going to work in my wardrobe. So I did come across this white and rose gold version, which I felt like out of every pair of Golden Goose shoes I have seen, this has been the closest color combination to my personal style. No pair is going to be the exact same. These are all hand distressed and kind of hand textured, but this does have light scuffing along the sole. The laces are kind of dirtier, and then there's also scuffing in the signature Golden Goose star. Size-wise, these do come in whole sizes only, and they recommend if you're between sizes to size up, which I would definitely recommend as well. I can be an 8, 8.5, and I went with the 8. They do feel too snug. I definitely wish they made these in half sizes. I feel like that would be a little more like inclusive for everyone's feet, so I don't think size-wise these will work for absolutely everyone out there. But if you are in between sizes, definitely go with the next size up. So comfort-wise, I was actually surprised because I hear over and over again how comfortable the Golden Goose sneakers are, and I just didn't feel that, at least out of the box. So maybe they need some break-in time. But one major thing that I noticed when putting these on my feet is the heel is pretty significantly lifted in a way, which I think makes them very flattering on your ankle and leg overall. It doesn't feel as stumpy. It almost felt like they were like turning my foot out a little bit. And I did also notice like some of the stitching on the inside. They were definitely not very comfortable without a sock. However, these do have a terry lining, so they are made and kind of advertised that you can wear them sock free if you prefer. I do also think these suit a more narrow foot versus a wider foot. One of my feet has a bunion and I could see redness along that with very minimal time on my foot. So if you do have a wider foot, there is always an option to stretch them a little bit because they are natural leather, but do keep that in mind, especially when it comes to ordering your size. So not speaking to like the grunginess factor or anything like that, but how these shoes compared to others is number one, I definitely think out of every pair of white shoe I tried, this shoe makes your foot look tiny. I don't know how it does it, but my foot literally looked like a size 6 or something. It's definitely not that small. I just feel like the shape and the length of the laces overall, it's like an optical illusion. So if you are into that, I felt like it was a very flattering shoe on the foot. And I do really appreciate how easy these are to slip off and on. Essentially, a lot of people like to knot the laces and leave them kind of open. So it is very easy to get off and on, and I think those speak to the biggest pros of this shoe. It's just whether or not you like the overall look or not. All right, next shoe is another Golden Goose shoe, but this one is a much cleaned up, simpler version. This is the Golden Goose Purestar low top sneaker. This is definitely like full on clean, white and white. There's no scuffs or distressing. These are extremely comfortable. There's just a lot of padding. I definitely found them to be much more comfortable than the Superstar. The Superstar, I also forgot to mention, the bottom of the shoe is very firm. Like it's not like a squishy insole. Whereas this one is very squishy, very comfortable, also feels really supported. Because of the sole on the bottom, it's a little bit chunkier. These are definitely a heavier version, but I wouldn't say they're too heavy. The opening of this shoe is, I would say, probably one of the most narrow options, so they are definitely not easy to slip off and on. I do think they'll get easier as that leather softens and they kind of break in. But if you're looking for a shoe that's just like slip off and on, not have to tie it up, I don't think this is the shoe for that. Top of the shoe on the Purestars definitely looks a little more exaggerated. The laces are a little longer, so it does make your foot a little bit longer, I feel like. And I'm definitely putting these in the running for top 3 as far as what type of white sneaker I'm looking for. This next shoe is this white sneaker from Frye, and full price these are $198. However, I picked them up recently at Nordstrom when they were marked down to like $138, I believe. And right off the bat, I'm definitely putting these again in my top 3. We'll see how it all plays out throughout the review. But these are, I would say, for the price point, the best quality white sneaker out of, it feels like hundreds. It definitely was nowhere near hundreds, but out of all the white sneakers that I've tried, this one feels like the best quality, and it's a $200 price point. Feels more comfortable than the Gucci pair. The leather is very soft and worn in. There's definitely some texture to this leather, but I can't say enough good things as far as the comfort. The inside lining is tan, which will definitely help them stay a little bit cleaner looking on the inside, especially if you wear a self-tanner. There are no logos along the front, so it's just a very clean white sneaker. Look-wise, these are definitely more of a sophisticated or more elevated white sneaker. If you're looking for a very elevated white sneaker, I can't say enough good things about the Frye sneaker. I thought it was really great quality and most importantly, extremely comfortable. Next white sneaker, this one is another very, very popular sneaker thanks to Meghan Markle, and that is the Vija or Vija. I'm definitely not pronouncing that correctly. And I have actually tried this white sneaker a couple times in the past thinking this is what I'm looking for, but I don't think it's the white sneaker for me. Now, I do really love the look. I feel like it has a slight retro vibe, definitely more casual, but you can also kind of elevate it a little bit more. So size-wise, these sneakers only come in whole sizes, and they are also European as well. And one major thing I want to point out when it comes to sizes is don't just trust like the online size conversion charts, because I found inconsistencies because I have ordered these in the past from Shopbop and the sizes were nowhere near correct. And then the sizes on the Nordstrom site are actually completely different, and I find that those are more accurate. So I would go off of Nordstrom's sizing, just FYI. But I do also think these shoes run extremely big. So if you are trying these, I think you may need to be patient with the sizing unless you just get lucky on the first batch. But I have ordered these, I think, 3 different times. And honestly, like, it's just confusing me because I ordered them from Shopbop. I've ordered them from Nordstrom. I ordered my normal size 8 in these shoes and they feel extremely roomy. However, I don't think I could go down another full size to a 7 either. So it just seems like size-wise for me, the shoe doesn't seem to be a great fit. Comfort-wise, right out of the box, I wouldn't say these are as uncomfortable as I was anticipating. I have seen a lot of reviews where it's a very stiff leather, and in some ways I do agree with that, but as far as comfort, I didn't feel that these were super stiff to where it was hurting my feet as I was walking. The tongue is definitely an area to be okay with as far as comfort wise because it is a very long tongue. You have 2 options. You could either cut down the tongue at a shoe cobbler, or you can actually just move it to the side, and as the tongue breaks in, that will become less of an issue. I would say the most annoying thing about these white sneakers is they did not come laced. This was actually the only pair that didn't come laced, and lacing these was not a very fun experience. If you are not patient like this girl, they definitely require some patience because the holes are very, very stiff and small, so you really have to like pull the laces through, and you can even see like these shoes aren't laced like perfectly, so I would even need to fix that. It's a little high maintenance for me. These are made from recycled leather, so it's definitely like not the softest leather to touch, but overall I didn't find that to be uncomfortable. I am interested to try the Velcro version. I'm not 100% sold on them, but it is something that I think is worth trying just because, for one, I really hated the laces on this version, and it would also be very easy to slip off and on. So if I end up trying the Velcro version, look for the update in that blog post. Next white sneaker is the Steve Madden Reza, and Steve Madden has a bunch of different white sneaker options. The Steve Madden Reza was definitely inspired by the Golden Goose trend. It is distressed and a little bit dirtier. The top part of the shoe is made with like a grade, like kind of grungy suede in a way. And then the inside is also lined with terry as well. So definitely a very similar look for less. And Steve Madden actually sent me this pair last year, and I wore them a ton just because, for one, I didn't have to worry about them getting dirty, which I really do like. Like if it's raining, I would wear these out and about, and they were very easy to slip off and on. So I did get some good wear out of these. However, I do find that there's a little bit of a sizing issue, and I don't know if it's just I got the bad batch or whatever, but I was sent 2 pairs of 8.5s, and I would say one fit more like a 7.5, and the other pair fits more like a 9 and is way too big. So I actually have given them away at this point because they just don't fit me. But I do find that the shoe is very comfortable, very flattering. So if you like the pros of having a shoe that's already kind of distressed, where you don't have to worry about it getting dirty, but you're not wanting to spend the price point of Golden Goose, I think this is a good option. And I will also, of course, look for less options down in the description box below for all of these as well. Next shoe is the Sam Edelman Ethel low top sneaker, and Sam Edelman is one of my favorite shoe brands. I can always count on them to have comfortable shoes, and I feel like for the price point, comparing like other brands at a similar price point, the quality and comfort level is always there. This one is priced right under $100, and overall the look is a very clean white sneaker look. There is a Sam Edelman stitched logo on the tongue under the sneakers and then also along the heel, but overall it is very minimal. These shoes do run true to size, and right out of the box they are very comfortable. They have a wide opening, so they're pretty easy to slip off and on. You can just tuck in the laces if you don't want to tie them. My only complaint with this is it's not a fully like leather sneaker. There's definitely synthetic materials to it, and overall the leather does feel delicate, like it's going to be very easily scratched and dirty. So I'm just not sure overall as far as the longevity of this white sneaker. And it almost has like a texture to it, kind of like matte paint is kind of how I would describe it, where it just seems like it's not gonna hold up as far as scuffs or cleaning, but I can't really speak to that because I obviously haven't had that issue yet. But if you are looking for a white sneaker that's under $100, very comfortable right out of the box, I definitely think this is one to consider. All right, next I am trying the Nike Air Force One sneaker, and these are priced right at $90. Every time I see these or hear Air Force Ones, I automatically start singing Nelly in my head. But these are definitely probably one of the brightest white sneakers out of all of them that I've tried. Definitely a little bit more of a cool toned white. So if you are looking for a very bright white sneaker, this one definitely has that undertone to it. And these are definitely like coming back as far as popularity, especially with the younger crowd. However, putting these on and just taking very few steps, I knew that these were immediately a no for me. They just felt very, very clunky. Also, I had a lot of foot movement. They just didn't really seem to secure my foot very well. And overall, they just felt very chunky, and the lining is also kind of meshy. So I don't know, they just didn't seem very comfortable to me. So for me, these were a no, but they're definitely more of the on-trend white sneaker right now because people are loving the chunkier kind of dad sneaker vibe. These definitely give you that. Next shoe, we have the Adidas Superstar sneaker, and these have been around as long as I can remember. They have a very signature clamshell toe cap on the bottom, which I'm not particularly the biggest fan of. These are actually a unisex white sneaker, and they're priced at $80. As with most Adidas shoes, I found that these ran pretty big. I ordered my normal size 8, and I definitely had some room, and my foot was like slipping out of these, so definitely size down a half size. As far as comfort, these were very comfortable right out of the box. They're not super stiff. I didn't find that they were digging into the top of my foot or ankle or anything like that. But I do feel like the look of them, they made my feet look a lot bigger and longer. Just it seems like the laces are a little more exaggerated. So just wanted to point that out. But overall, I don't have any big complaints with this shoe. It's just not the white sneaker for me. Next is the Adidas Cloud Foam white sneaker. This is a pretty popular, affordable option. Definitely more of an athletic looking shoe, but at the same time, it's not like a shoe that I would go walk in by any means. There's a really supportive insole in these, so arch-wise, I felt like it had great support. The bottom of the shoe was very, very flexible, so it just did not feel stiff in any way. I would say if you're looking for a white sneaker and you need a little bit more like support and comfort level, this is a good one to consider. Next is this Nike shoe. I don't remember the name off the top of my head, to be honest. I just picked it up at DSW. And I really like the look of this white sneaker, but I'm not the biggest fan of the tongue. The tongue is like almost like a swishy pant material. I don't know. And then obviously you can see that my pair in particular is kind of stained blue. Not all of the shoes were like that, but my size, this is the only size they had, and it was definitely blue. This one did look very flattering on the ankle. It didn't cut off my leg by any means, and I feel like this is a good balance between athletic and casual wear. And these are also very reasonably priced, around $50. I find that when I'm looking for white sneakers around this price point, you get a lot of, you know, random like black soles, or just they're not as like clean and simple, or they're just a little too childish. So I feel like this is a great look that I'm looking for around a very affordable price point. All right, next white sneaker is actually the most affordable white sneaker that I have tried. It is from Walmart, and this one is kind of hard to get your hands on. I found these online in January, I think, and I just kind of had to keep checking back. Not the easiest pair to get your hands on because of the price point. I think these are honestly like $15 to $20, and they are surprisingly so comfortable. They're actually in my top 3. I definitely plan to keep these. I love how simple they are. They're very flattering on the foot. Again, I feel like it balances out the type of look that I'm going for, and they're very easy to slip off and on. My biggest complaint is obviously for this price point, it's a very like synthetic feeling material, so it's probably not going to be the most breathable, and quality wise, as far as it lasting season after season, I don't really expect it to. I do plan to keep this white sneaker, but then at the same time, I feel like I'm going to have to be looking for another one next season. Overall, I think this is the best affordable white shoe option out of all of them I've seen and tried. So after trying out all of these different styles of white sneakers, I kind of realized why finding the perfect white sneaker hasn't been the easiest for me. And that's really because like it all depends on what exactly you're looking for, and at times I'm looking for different things. So sometimes I want a very clean white sneaker that's looking super cute with dresses. And other times, you know, if it's raining or I want to be like very casual, I may want to reach for something a little sportier or grungier or that type of thing. If you are struggling with this search, it may be because of the same reason as me. Like, you may have different needs. So don't necessarily look for the one perfect white sneaker, and consider, you know, if you do need 2 different options. If you're looking for inspiration on how to style white sneakers, definitely make sure you're subscribed. I plan to do a full styling video here really soon, sharing a bunch of different ways to style them throughout spring and summer. And I also have a blog post sharing 10 different ways to style them, and those are all collages, so you can kind of save them for later or reference back to it when you need some inspiration. So I will link that down below. And definitely let me know what your favorite white sneaker was from this video, or if you have another recommendation, just so everyone can kind of reference through that as well if they are searching for their perfect white sneaker. So that's it for today. I will see you later this week with a new fashion video. Bye.